is that important. These kids and faculty are doing their jobs. Y'all are not. It does not make sense to disperse these kids to lower scoring schools. Isn't that the job, is to increase scores? Remember, all these kids will be voting soon. Keep Como open.
Thank you.
My name is Zoriel Tepo, and I'm a proud student athlete at Ove Como High School. Well, we've been down this road before, and for some of you, it was just an item on the agenda. But for the Como community, it was yet another hurdle to overcome. Nevertheless, the faculty, staff, students, and community continue to show up. And here we are, another agenda item, still showing up for each other. For us, Como isn't just a line item on a budget, it's our home. I know there are districts you each represent individually, but aren't you all tasked with representing all of the kids in Lafayette Parish Public Schools? All includes the students that attend Como, but it doesn't feel that way. There's no way you think announcing this 2 days before we take the AC test and voting on it the day we test was the best decision. Think back to your 17-year-old selves. Would this be the way you would want to cap off your high school career? What are we supposed to do with that? I can thank you for something. Thank you for teaching us how to fight. It's been a struggle this entire time, and the only thing we had to look forward to is walking across the stage as Spartans. That's what we fought for, and now you're taking that away from us. But thank you. Thank you for teaching us how to fight and for teaching us how to never back down. If your mind's already made up and you intend to let your will be done, just know that. You may look at us and see a shark, you may see a ram, you may see a lion, you may see a bear or even a Viking. But just know that in our hearts forever we will be Spartans and we will continue to fight, because struggle will be nothing new to us. So thank you. My class, the class of 27, the ones who will walk onto a new campus for their last year of high school, I urge my classmates to keep their heads up. It's easy for those who don't know how to be blind and unsupportive. 5 months, 5 short months before we should be walking through those doors on Bluebird Drive as seniors. We deserve to walk across the stage and with that Spartan on our chest. I spoke up last time and I'm speaking up again, not just for me, but for all of us. Classmates, I'm sorry. I wish my voice was a vote, but it's all I have at this time.
Thank you, Zoriel.
My name is Lane Fredew, and I'm an English teacher and baseball coach at Como High School. This is my first year as an educator at Ove Como, and in the short time that I've been here, I can truly say that it's been life-changing. In my colleagues, I have found friends and family that I believe can last a lifetime. In my administration, I have found support and growth through constant check-ins. In my students, I have found hope for our future. I am in the unique position of teaching both freshmen and seniors. It gives you whiplash. And in my seniors, I see young adults who are using our school as a support system in a monumental moment in their life, their first steps into the real world. And in my freshmen, I see the next generation of leading Spartans. All I ask is that you consider these kids, these future leading Spartans, the ones that have planned their future at this school, in your decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tonight, I will be all in and speak my mind. Hi, I'm Monte Gerard, and I'm a student athlete. I'm a freshman student athlete at Como High. As an 8th grader last year, I remember how bad I wanted to attend LHS, and I'm proud to say that I didn't. I would like to say that I disagree with the closure, and thank you for allowing me to speak here today. Though it may be my first year at Como, the students and administration has grown to become my family. The connection that I have with these people mean a lot to me. This is the first school that has not only made me feel seen, but also heard. I played 3 sports at Como High, and my coaches, Miss Casey Edgar, Coach Megan, Coach Lydia, Coach Danux, and Coach Jill, have pushed me to do my best in everything I do. They have taught me that no matter how hard you fall, you must always get back up and push through it. These coaches, admin, and students have become my second family, and it really means a lot to me. This moment really hurts me and tears me apart. I would like to say that I mostly feel bad for the juniors and seniors because for the years that they have been here, and they could possibly be losing their family and their home. I feel as these upcoming high school students or people transferring ready to attend Como made me realize that they could be losing and missing out on a bigger opportunity. This school has felt like a home to me. In the mornings I wake up, I'm mostly happy to go to school and see the people that make me happy the most. As an athlete that has started that has started at Como, I know that I don't want to play for any other schools because of the connections and the family that we've built. No matter what, I will always remain an Ove Como High Spartan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jackie Bourgeois. My only connection to this area is that my daughter goes to Como. So I have a very unique perspective in the 19 months that I've been here. I don't know the history. I don't know if it was this board or the boards before, but you guys have failed this school. And that's an outsider's opinion. It's just a fact. What you are deciding to do is to remove a school and leave a gap in the main part of your city. It's 13 miles to north side, 14 to Acadiana from south side. You're trying to leave a hole in the center of a beautiful city. Why would you guys do that? Why would you move a career center there when it's a great idea? Don't get me wrong. Technical college exists and there's top scholarships for that. You can't displace hundreds of traditional students and ask them to drive across town where there's already a crazy number of wrecks every day to go to school. These children, these teachers, these principals have gone above and beyond in spite of everything that has happened in the 19 months I've been here. It's insanity, and I don't understand. I'm not judging anybody. I don't know what happened before I got here. All I can tell you is that as an analyst in my day job for a Fortune 500 company, it makes no sense, even when you take emotions completely out of it. I'm sorry, you guys failed this school, and you really need to reconsider. Even just looking at the zoning maps as somebody who isn't from here, makes no sense why they were drawn that way. You guys really failed this school, and you need to leave it open and put the money in to bring it back to what it needs to be and what it has already shown you. It's more than able. It's more than capable of becoming what you want it to be if you give them a chance. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a moment. I need to remind our fellow board members of our policy. We are following Robert's rules, but in our policy, each person may speak only once on each agenda item unless recognized by the school board president to speak again. So anyone who is lining up to speak twice, they can only speak once. So just thank you. Okay, you can go ahead.
Hi, my name is William Daly. I am a part of the band program. I am the percussion captain. I've been here for 4 years. Y'all are trying to shatter what the entire band has built, what Mr. T has built. He is trying to make this band so much better than it has been in years. Y'all have been doing this for like, what, 3-4 times? Y'all have said trying to close the school and failed each time. Every time y'all have done that, we've grown stronger. We keep coming back, we keep trying to fight it. Every time. Y'all keep trying to shatter that family bond that we have. Everyone a part of Como, including the staff, faculty, and students, all treat each other with respect, kindness, and the respect that we deserve. I always want to thank all the teachers that I have for treating everyone with respect that I've known, especially Mr. T, Mr. Domain, Mr. Denooks, all of them. But y'all keep trying to break that apart, don't you? Every year. I've been here for 4 years. During the freshman year that I had, I was at Southside for a little bit. Compared to Como, it is nothing. Southside is much worse. Yes, it might be put in millions of dollars, but that does not mean anything. That is just money, not the family. But that is just the emotional aspect. As of 2024, this school district is $399 million in debt. And with the construction, or soon-to-be construction, on multiple campuses, including the complete remodel of LHS, which might cost upwards of $100 million, I say it is reasonable to assume this number is astronomically higher now. So I understand that you see closing Como as a way to relieve some of the debt, but you just caused more problems for yourself later down the road. You'll be sending hundreds of kids to already overpopulated schools. Studies have shown that overpopulated schools and cramped classrooms.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Armentor, and I am the mother of a junior at Como High School. But I'm also a mom, so that means I'm mom to a whole lot of these kids out here. And I'm proud of every single one of them for coming up and showing their love for this school. I think you can see the difference from last year to this year. Last year, they're very upset and they're crying and they're begging, and this year they're mad. And I think that's expected. I think that they should be. But I also think that we need to take a step back, and maybe we need to just talk about a little bit of compromise. I don't think that a technical school is a bad deal, but perhaps, if I understand correctly, these kids go to their home school, wherever they're zoned for half a day, and then they go and get bused or transported to this career center. Why not make the career center and OVE the same thing? Why not have that be your high school? There's plenty of room. I think that part of the aggravation from this room and upstairs is that there hasn't been any back and forth. There hasn't been any communication. There hasn't been any talking about this. And I think that part is where everyone got caught off guard-ish, but that's where everyone gets upset, because there is no room for compromise because we haven't been able to discuss it. I would urge you to compromise. Let's talk. I think we'd all be available and open to that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening. I am Kelly McCrae. I am a senior at Como High School. I am the executive officer of the NJAROTC Magna Academy. I am part of the percussion in Como High School, and I have been a Beta Club member for 2 years, and this year I joined NHS. So you can understand why I have a stake in this and why I am against closing Como. As you have heard, well, as a continuation to my friend's speech earlier, you will be sending hundreds of kids to already overpopulated schools, and studies have shown that overpopulated schools and cramped classrooms lead to lower test scores and other mental and physical problems for students. Naturally, when parents realize this, they will move their kids to other private charter schools. But what we aren't told is how often these charter schools failed, which I'm sure you remember from Mr. Betson's speech, so I won't go over it again. These students will have to come back from these private and charter schools, and they will come back to already overpopulated and overcrowded schools. This will just recreate the vicious cycle that you aren't helping to end. You think you are, but you aren't, because you aren't solving the root issue. The root issue is, well, part of Como's root issue is the population. This population has been decimated ever since Southside was built because of the rezoning. And now, this wouldn't be a problem if the rezoning wasn't gerrymandered to hell and back. So currently, Como is at around 600 students, which is designed to fit 1,400. What I don't understand either is why you think you have all the money to build to remodel Como instead of trying to rebuild and help reestablish the current career center. Thank you for your time, and I just want you to remember this is what the community is saying, and that's who you're supposed to represent.
Thank you. Ready.
Hi, my name is Leah Skronich, and I'm a teacher at Como. I've been there 4 years, and I can honestly say that I would not want to work any other place in the world. I have not missed a single day of work this whole school year. And I'm not bragging, but I'm just being honest. And you know why? Because of the admin and the students. I look forward to coming to work. I don't dredge it. I really, really want to come to work. And that's just the honest truth. You look around the students, and every single one of these students is fighting for their school. They shouldn't have to go through that 2 times in 2 school years. It's not fair to them. This should be their high school, best years of their lives. Como is not just a school, but it's a home. Okay, we are not a failing school. We are doing great academically, so why would you want to close it? We have the best admin team we've had in years. They care about us. They want to help us. They want to help us succeed, not see us decline. And I cannot say the same for other high schools. Okay, it is the only traditional high school that was named in the top 3 best high schools this year. The only one. That's to say a lot. Okay, we also have the second highest faculty attendance rate for high schools in the district. We just got that emailed. We show up, we are engaged, we support our students every single day. They are the reason that we come to work every single day. Ask the students around here. I have taught most of them, and we build relationships because we are a family. Okay, Como High is more than a building. It's a place where students and staff grow and succeed. And most of all, like I said, we're a family. Closing it should not be the first option. Strengthening it should be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Zion Dugas. I disagree. Because if you guys really wanted to save money, why would you go spend $100 million or probably more on Lafayette High? Everyone is trying their best. Despite all the money, despite all the money you don't give us, we're still doing good, basically. I tried to kill myself multiple times. You know who helped me? Connor Thibodeau. Miss S, she helped me. My grades aren't the best, but I'm trying my best. Everyone at Como is trying their best. Your guys aren't helping us. Even though y'all are not helping us, guess what? We're still doing good. That's pretty much it. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Evan Page. I'm a sophomore at Como. Obviously, I haven't been here as long as half the people speaking, but I do understand that whenever there's something not working for you, the first thing you try and do is fix it, not just cut it off completely. The amount of accommodations that you could help and put into Como to help even put more people into the school is crazy, but you decide to cut off the whole system. And by the whole system, I'm not just talking about the education and basically everything else. I'm talking about the relationships that you've built. You don't know how many people I've heard have to tell their significant others or their best friends that they're gonna split up because if this goes through, they're gonna have to go to separate schools. It's just plain ignorance of power. This, basically everything that you've suggested is going to create a whole lot of mayhem and havoc, to say it best. There's the people and teachers, students at these other schools already know there's not enough room or teachers to properly accommodate all these people. And even if you built more room, that would be just go against what you are trying to do. You would be spending more money than you would be saving. It's honestly crazy. And that's really all I have to say.
All right. Thank you.
My name is Aiden Warren, and I'm against closing down Como. I'm a sophomore. I've learned that there's no other place I would rather be. I've been in charter schools almost all my whole life, with the exception of being Como and Broussard. Everybody's better over here, like tighter family, better friends over here, better teachers like Mr. Domain, Mr. Nux, Ms. Waters over there. Like, they've all made me want to be better in life. I've always struggled a little bit in ELA. I've always struggled in math, and going to those classes have made me realize that I can do something better. And closing down the school would honestly make it worse. As going to Southside, heard it's overcrowded. They can barely feed their students at lunch. So why would I go there, starve myself, when I could go to Como and eat, somewhat decent food, which we should upgrade. But I just think Como is a really good place for everybody to go to. And if we could solve the overcrowding, then at Southside and stuff, maybe we could send some people to Southside or Como and, teach them better. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you. Ready.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Emmy Habits, and I'm a student at Southside High. I'm here tonight because our school is already overcrowded, and I'm concerned about what will happen if more students are moved to our campus. Right now, our school has 3 lunch periods. While most other high schools only have 2, that alone shows how full our campus already is. We simply don't have enough space for the number of students we currently have. The overcrowding affects our teachers too. At least 10 teachers at our school don't have their own classrooms. They have to move from room to room throughout the day because there aren't enough spaces available. That means carrying materials, adjusting to different classrooms, and losing valuable instructional time between classes. Students feel the impact every day as well. Some of our classes are too full that not everyone has a desk. Students are sitting on stools just to fit into rooms. It is hard to focus and do your best work when you don't have a proper place to write. We understand that decisions like this are very complicated, but if students from another school are moved to ours, the reality is that overcrowding will only get worse. It will affect learning, teaching, and overall environment for everyone on campus. Kind of to put it into a different perspective, would you want to live in a home of 8 with 12 people in it? It's overcrowded, it gets uncomfortable. It's kind of how it is for us in our classrooms. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable in a place where they're trying to learn. They don't want to have to leave a place they're trying to learn. So please consider what overcrowding really looks like for our students before making this decision. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chrissy Falcon. Thank you for the opportunity to express our hurt and panic at being put on the chopping block yet again. We watch Southside get built and lots of students and parents jump at the chance to go to a shiny new high-tech school. Then starts the sabotaging of Como, pulling programs, changing the principal every year so they can't get their bearings, and as threat of closing the school gets bigger, more leave. A lower student-to-teacher ratio is a recipe for success. School is not a business. I've been hearing about how overcrowded Southside is since the day it opened. Acadiana and Lafayette aren't any better. The problem appears to be mismanagement of funds. These kids can't afford to pay that price. As you look over the figures, please consider the millions that have been spent on just the stadium at Southside. But no money to keep our school open. Millions were spent on the theater at Como. They stripped Como of its arts program. More money wasted. As you make it harder for this school, they keep showing up and working harder. I'm sure the students at Acadiana, Lafayette, and Southside will be thrilled to have even more kids crammed into their classroom. As you look at the figures, please remember the faces of those kids whose high school experience you are ruining. When my kids were little, my kids played in the street in the front of our house while listening to the Como High fight song, never realizing they would have to someday to fight to keep the school open. You will be ripping the hearts out of these teachers, faculty, and students. I've been a resident of Lafayette for 43 years, and here's the pattern. A superintendent moves in, rearranges everything, spends millions on a new curriculum, makes a mess, gets paid, then bounces. We should be celebrating the 60 years Como has been open, not shutting its doors. And just a final note, congratulations to Superintendent Touchette on a $65,000 pay increase. Funny how we always have money for such things. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Laura Troutman. I'm a resident of District 7, a teacher at Como High, and a third-generation educator. My family has served LPSS for over 28 years. You know why I'm here. I'm urging you to vote against Como's closing. The community has repeatedly defended their school and has made it clear they do not support its closure. Continuing to bring the same proposal back to a community that has already said no feels like not like engagement, but more like pressure. Second, a vote in favor of this change ignores the civic responsibility of due process. Federal law requires meaningful stakeholder input, yet the only communication the public has received is that the plan is complete and the board will vote. That is not collaboration, nor is it transparent. Finally, we must also consider the long-term impact on all of our schools. LPSS leadership has said we need to bring students back from charter schools. If that is our mission, we should be strengthening the public schools we already have. Charter schools come and go, but public schools remain. And when we succeed in bringing those students back, we must have the space to welcome them. Reducing capacity across the parish now could leave us unprepared later. I am not opposed to thoughtfully transforming Como's role within LPSS, but that transformation must involve genuine collaboration with the school's community. Community members cannot offer meaningful solutions if they were never invited into the planning process. Meaningful collaboration must happen before the plan is written, not after. Until that happens, I urge you to vote no.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Carolyn Bro. I didn't plan on being here. I don't have any notes. All due respect to the school board and the president and the superintendent. I am a mother of a graduate from Como High in 2006. I am the proud grandmother of a Como High sophomore, a Como High freshman, and a Broussard Middle 7th grader who is currently making plans, who is a cheerleader, who is currently making plans to try out for Como in 2 years. My heartfelt thought is I've lived here in Como School District the entire 38 years I've been here in Lafayette. I moved from out of state. Como has always been looked at and overlooked in funding, in support. That's the perception that everyone has. They, you know, oh, there's Acadiana High, there's Lafayette High, North Side, Karen Grove, oh yeah, Como. And that's always been what I've seen and experienced firsthand. My daughter graduated 20 years ago, and I went to my grandson's freshman orientation last year at Como, only to be told, oh, we're making renovations to the plumbing, which my daughter then said, my God, that's been over 20 years. When I was in school, the plumbing was bad. So I just want y'all to know that please don't overlook, you have a unicorn in this parish among all the other schools in Lafayette. This school is diverse. They get along, it's successful, and they're loved. And thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Evan Antoine. You know, I play football and wrestling. You know, I just feel like y'all shouldn't be closing my school. Like, I know it's like about the money, but like, we a school and like, we build a culture. You know, we face adversity, dude. And like, you know, just like removing that for like some, you know, charter academy or some, whatever it's called, you know, that's wrong. You know, and like, you know, just the school should like keep going on because, you know, I'm about to be a junior. And like, yeah, I ain't trying to like have my school like end because of some charter academy, you know. And we about to like get new uniforms and like jerseys for our football team. And, you know, I don't want to trade that for, and like my Coach Newsom, yeah, Coach Newsom, so, he taught me a lot, you know, build myself as a better man and like, you know, how to raise, you know, be a man for, and, you know, I just don't want my school to end. Thank you.
Hello, thank you very much for having us. Just to start with a little prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, make me swift and accurate. In Jesus' name, amen. Yeah, so Coach Marquess Newsom was my captain for 3 years, 2000, 99, 2000, 2001. Had the honor to play sports at Como High School. Was a 4-athlete letterman. Had an opportunity to play college football from what we accomplished at Como High School. The jerseys that he spoke of, I've been in the West Coast for about 7-8 years. Coming back here, I saw what Coach Newsom had started to support students, to help them get to college, to make calls where a lot of times when I was there, that didn't happen. We had one of the best running backs in the state who Prop 28'd at UL, and that's awesome, but he really didn't have the support. Coach Newsom is changing that. We got a chance, we raised over $20-something thousand for new uniforms. We have another alumni who raised that. We raised $1,300 recently from just selling some shirts from an alumni. Now, when I went there, we had 24, 25 years ago. The equipment that we use now is still there. the lockers that these amazing young men sit in are still there. These are things I took for granted 24 years ago. It's sad to see a student sitting in exposed screws lockers. Spartan law says that we never retreat and we never surrender. And like seeing this happen here is inspiring. I'm a blessed opportunity to be the co-chaplain of the football team for the past 3 weeks. And I've had the blessed opportunity to be a paraeducator in the special needs department for the past 5 days. So this is an interesting situation in development, but it's an honor to get to serve these students, and and pray that we get the opportunity to move forward. Let us win state. Give us the opportunity. Thank you. God bless.
You.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Joseph. I am a proud parent of 2 Spartans and a former educator in the school district as well. And I just want to read something to you all. The Lafayette Parish School System is, in collaboration with stakeholders, is committed to developing productive citizens prepared to compete in a global community. That's our mission statement on the LPSS website. And also, you have 9 belief statements on that same website. And 2 of those belief statements that I want to kind of talk to you all about is the quality education is a shared responsibility of all stakeholders, and that effective collaboration and communication among all stakeholders are essential to the success of our school system. And I also want to talk about a third one: a safe and supportive learning environment enhances student achievement. When we have 5 principals in 8 years, that creates instability in our schools. That does not create a safe environment for our schools, and it does not support collaboration with all stakeholders. These students are stakeholders, teachers are stakeholders, principals are stakeholders, and they deserve to be in collaboration on that planning side, not on the we've made a decision side and you don't matter, because that's the communication that they are getting from that. And I want to remind Mr. Touchette that in his statement to the school districts, he said that this year that he's focused on making sure every child feels valued, connected, and excited to come to school. If you close Como, Mr. Touchette, you are not being a man of your word. You are not operating in integrity. And I know that I support what you're doing. I love that you're here, and I think you need to be accountable to your words. Thank you.
Thank you. You ready?
All right, Forrest Schatz. I'm president of 100 Black Men of Greater Lafayette. Once a Ram, always a Ram. But this is not about Acadiana High School tonight. All right, it's about Como Spartans, and I want to take kudos to these students. I am really impressed and inspired by just how well you expressed your First Amendment right, and not just expressing it, but you did it so eloquently, which I think is a microcosm of why the school is a B school approaching A. So 700 students being disrupted, and it begs the question, what is the sense of urgency that this has to be voted on tonight? Such a grand decision is one that I believe all members on the board should have a say on. To make a decision tonight would be an injustice to the members not present and a disservice to all these people who showed up to speak out against this. For this reason alone, deferring should be the only option on the table. And if you know me, anybody in this room, you know that I'm a straight shooter. So I'm going to segue from Como for a moment and speak about what hasn't been addressed. And that is, what do the students at Northside High have to say about this, who thought that their high school was next on the list to get some TLC? Are we ready for that backlash? Did anyone consult with school board member Amy Trahan about E.J. Sam's relocation? If so, when did she find out about this proposal? What did the other board members know about this, and when did they know it? I look forward to answers to all of these questions tonight. These are valid questions and concerns that I think will go a long way towards gaining public trust in the genuine nature of this proposal. I think this is an issue that Como thought was addressed and killed when the optimization plan didn't pass. So it would be disingenuous to say, trust us. if you truly want to gain the public trust, you have to trust the public. The people have spoken. I just hope that you have heard them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Winnie Kurowski, and I'm a parent of Como students. I understand the need for a trades-oriented education. I support it. Those 450 students on the wait list deserve opportunities, but you don't have to hurt 600 students to help 450. That's not leadership. Why not make use of the space with a hybrid school? Offer trades education in traditional high school in one building. Not all trades require special equipment. Come up with some better solutions than just shutting down Como down. Get creative. This is getting old. Como is an A-rated school. The Louisiana Department of Education named it a 2025 Top Gains honoree on this board's watch. You're abandoning a success story you helped create. What school board in the United States closes down a school that makes them look good? Enrollment decline is due to a previous board's decision to rezone 900 students away from Como. That was created by the school board, and now you're punishing our children for it. LPSS can dig deeper and find the $2 million every year. Many of us voted for the millage this past fall because it was supposed to help Como. The real funding crisis is that charter schools drain $6 million from this district every year. Closing Como doesn't fix that. It just punishes our kids for a problem you haven't solved. You may be sending some very talented, intelligent, hardworking students and amazing future leaders to charter schools. You heard the anguish and the Spartan spirit. Please try harder with better solutions. There are teachers, parents, and coaches who work tirelessly to better the campus, and it's all for these students. There are multiple stories of other schools outside LPSS who support us. Why can't you? We will remember this decision in 2027. Do the right thing, and please keep Como open.
Thank you.
My name is River Gray, and I'm a sophomore at Como. My freshman year, I joined a team called Cajun Prep, and at the beginning of this year, they relocated to Maurice, forcing me to quit. When I was separated from all my friends, the Como wrestling team took me in. They accepted me with open arms, and I felt like I belonged again. Please don't separate these kids from their friends. I know what it's like to be separated from people you call family. Please don't make all 700 of us go through that.
Thank you. Just a second. We only have 3 more people in line, so that will be the end of... Wait. Okay. We're nearing... This is your last call to get in line. We're nearing 3 hours.
Period. I know that's right.
All right, we're going to move on. If you're not in line, I'm sorry. All right, go ahead.
As Ove Como's 2025 Homecoming Queen, I feel y'all should keep our school open. I won Homecoming Queen because of the kids, the administration, and community. Apparently, my school loves me and I love my school. Being a Spartan, a cadet, and a JAG member, and a leader all has something to do with the Como. The kids, the staff, and the community will be greatly affected. These kids do not want to go to Southside, Acadiana, or Lafayette High. It is overcrowded. And being that my NJROTC program has to start over from ground zero to build their program back up, we have a system in place that is being affected. I ask that you take into consideration of our feelings, our spirit, and the love that we have for the school altogether. I love my school. I am a senior graduating this year, but my sister, my friends, and my mentors all work there. They all are there. I've walked campus for 4 years, and I want a school to come back to. After May 19th, 3 o'clock p.m., of the school, I will be officially an alumni of Como. I will keep my school name alive because I am all in. Go Spartans.
Thank you.
I am deeply concerned about the potential closure of Como High School, especially considering this is the second time such a proposal has been considered. It's no surprise that student transfer rates are increasing when the stability of their education is being constantly threatened. Announcing a possible closure right before an important ACT exam is incredibly burdensome and counterproductive. Also, the emotional toll on teachers and principals is also at risk. The school's future is unacceptable and needs to be addressed with a clear, decisive plan that prioritizes the well-being and education of our students and staff.
All right. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sophia Padilla-Ortiz, and I'm a junior at Como. I want to say that I've been in band since 5th grade, and I have the opportunity to be drum major next year. But if this goes through, I can't do that. I can't be the drum major for the band that I love and the band that I've been a part of. If you send me to Acadiana High School where nobody knows me, how am I going to be a drum major at a band that I can't get my votes in? Secondly, I just want to say it doesn't make sense if there's a lot of people on this wait list. If they are wanting a new career center, where are they? Where are they going? Where are they speaking up about their new career center? Why aren't they up here talking about the new career center that they want? It just seems like it's almost non-existent. Secondly, third, I feel like there has to be other places for the career center to be built or, like put into. I feel like maybe Como is probably not the only place that you have to put this career center into. And lastly, I would like to address the fact that you're taking away our autonomy of what school we choose to go to. If this goes through, if Como goes offline, allow the juniors to pick the school that we will graduate from, since we've already picked, but that's going to be taken away from us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. This is going to be our last comment before we have a recess for the restroom, because we still have board comment as well. So go ahead.
My name is Drayson Blevins. I'm speaking on behalf of Zach Lincoln. I know this is my second time up here, but I'll be back however many times it takes to keep my community together. This school belongs to...
You're going to have to speak into the microphone. This is your second time here?
No.
No, this is first.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Just go ahead.
This school belongs to us. It's not your right to take it away because of your own goals that lacks the backing of the community. We earned this school. We earned our right to stay. We will continue to fight no matter what. If we have a different principal, if we have a different school to go to, we will still be the Como Spartans no matter what. I've changed completely at Como, and I had so many plans. My teachers and coaches have backed me. I don't know the man I am without Coach Berger or Coach Brower, without my teachers, Miss Egger, Miss Fagenbush, Miss Waters, who continue to fight for me no matter what is happening. I'm a part of Big Brother, Big Sisters. What's going to happen to my little buddy Jack? What's going to happen to the classmates that make my day with more friends? I was president of 4-H this year. I could see you all know that very well. What's going to happen to my plans for next year? Yesterday, we were supposed to have our 8th grade night. You guys took that away from us. All my friends and all my teachers are being taken away, and it's not by choice. We found out with a 2-day notice like we are worth nothing to you guys, especially when we mean everything to Dr. Atkins, Ms. Falcor, Mr. Brower, and Mr. Mark. When was the last time you seen this many kids gathered here to speak and fight besides last time you tried to shut us down? Ms. Leibu, you're supposed to represent us. We gave you a reward. Are you going to crush your dreams of everyone you represent? I'm going to be a politician one day, and you guys are not the type of people I work up to. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're calling a recess, and we have 6 people in line, so y'all will be first when we get back. All right, thank you.
Yep. But I swear I'm in there often. In fact, let me ask you a question. Okay, I'm hey, y'all got a community center? And do something. And do something? And do something? Like a PlayStation right now.
Right by the library, right across from the library. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's where they have the city council meetings. They have the town council meetings there. It's right. It's the library and the town halls all combined into one. I will.
Good evening. If you could find your seats, this is a 2-minute warning. We will begin in 2 minutes. Please find your way back to your seat. The 6 audience that were standing in line for public comment, please get back in line.
We're back in meeting, please. All right. Okay, you can go ahead. Who wants to go first?
Yes, my name is Nicole Steen.
We're gonna make sure. Speaking. No, we need
No,
more.
let's put this on. Okay. There you go. Yes, my name is Nicole Steen. I am a parent, and I support ROTC to the fullest. If this is my thing, I gotta say, if this thing about closing Como is about attendance over the last 15 years, okay, we can understand that. But if y'all rezone like y'all should, instead of overcrowding schools, why don't we bring someone back to Como where they belong? And we wouldn't have to worry about our numbers declining with that. There's also another school, sorry to mention it, but Northside that's still up. They are C school, D school. Actually, they're C school with 727 students and ranked 185 out of 311 schools in Louisiana. They had 61% graduate from Northside. But Como, on the other hand, had 91% graduation rate from Como with 575 students and ranked 38 out of 311 students. Como is a solid B. Another thing I want to bring up. We have all these people here fighting to keep Como open. Where's the people that's supposed to be here to close Como? Because if it's y'all, I mean, come on, y'all gotta have a heart to listen to these people. Y'all tearing them. I've done heard plenty of them say that y'all failed them. You know how embarrassing it is whenever our own school board fail and let go of our kids? Instead of encouraging them, y'all supposed to be setting an example. Where's that example? And you know what? Let me tell y'all another secret. Y'all worried about saving money. But if 200 kids go to charter schools, the district would lose $1.8 million in federal funds. Then that same amount is what y'all trying to plan.
All right, thank you. All right, you ready?
Good evening. For the public record, my name is Shalimere Jackson, and I am against closing Overcrowding High School. This year, I do not have the urge to miss work, partially because of our principal, Dr. Erin Atkins. She is the best high school principal in Lafayette Parish. I'm not just saying that because I'm looking for something. She does not get the proper recognition that she deserves. Ms. LeBouf visits our campus frequently. Dr. Atkins is not recognized for the greatness that she brings to the district and brings to our family. In addition, she is very supportive of her faculty and her students. You may not know, but I did have an accident at work and was out of work for 2 weeks, and she contacted me every single day to see how I was. Here we are again 1 year later. 2 days' notice of this agenda item does not fit the description of transparency. I don't know whose idea it was, but this is not transparency. Please do not torment or torture our teachers for speaking. We're only supporting our students. We're trying to save the Mo. Be kind. Choose kindness the Spartan way. I indeed have my students back. I pray for them daily. Students are not more resilient than adults, as stated last year by a board member. Remember last year, an elementary school was on the verge of closing. Please return that same fight in you to keep Como High School open. Como High and Northside High have not received the due diligence that they deserve. Those two principals do not get the support. We do not get the funding that other schools may get.
Is there really a waiting list of students at the Career Center? To the 100 Black men of Greater Lafayette, thank you for your support, and we ask that you continue to support us. To everyone that does have to vote tonight, I have 2 words: be still.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Suzanne. My kid is a senior at Como High School. His name is Howard. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight because the notice was too short and he had other obligations. I need you all to understand something very clearly. Como has saved this kid's life. If Como High School had not said yes to Howard, I truly don't know where he would be today. He's received a full ride scholarship, tuition, room and board, and a monthly stipend, and a chance that I truly believe that it would not come out to fruition without Como. He's now the Command Master Chief of the ROTC program. It happened because Como saw beyond a child's past and who he could become. Howard came into my life as a child who had already endured more trauma than most people experience in a lifetime. He was abandoned by both of his parents and experienced all forms of abuse, neglect, and instability from the earliest years of life. He was deeply dysregulated. He was traumatized. He was a traumatized child, only repeating cycles that he ever saw. He struggled behaviorally in school across multiple parishes. Nothing ever stuck and nothing ever helped him. He had been expelled multiple times. He never found belonging, and life dealt him another devastating blow of having to leave my home. When he came back, he had reached almost 350 pounds, lost faith in school, as his first high school, Wasman High, turned blind eyes to his fed sister being raped by their stepfather. He lost faith in adults, and he lost faith that life could be different. When I picked him up to come live with me the second time, he told me he was dropping out of school at 16 years old. But then he walked into the NROTC office, and he sat down with Major Blackman and IT Young. And that moment, I honestly still felt so hopeless. He was a failing student with F's and D's at the end of his freshman year. They saw beyond his report card. They gave him a chance. He found community. He found mentors within the principals, the teachers, and the other students. It's a culture on that campus. It's a family. For the first time in life, he truly experienced, outside of my home, another safe of belonging.
Thank you.
I am Major Lionel Blackman. I teach NROTC at Como High School. You've been beat up tonight. You've been told a lot of things. I wanted to tell you about some of the success stories that we've had at Como High School. Yes, I teach NROTC, but I don't do this by myself. I just teach NROTC. So I need the math teachers, I need the English teachers, I need the science teachers, I need the history teachers to do their part to create a Howard. I want to tell you about another young lady that we had. She moved to Lafayette Parish after the hurricanes in Lake Charles. So she started middle school here. She came to Como High School her freshman year. She joined NROTC out of PE. She was sitting in PE, didn't know what NROTC was. She came to us. She is the second child of a mother who has 4 children, no husband in the home. They have no vehicle. This young lady has rose to be my commanding officer this year. She walks to work 1.5 miles to McDonald's because she has to work to assist her mother, and walks back every day. When it was freezing outside, I called. She was walking to work. I'd say, get an Uber. I told her, Mom, get an Uber. Don't let her walk to work in that cold weather. Neither here nor there. She is matriculated into NROTC. She's got a 3.8 GPA. Now, I know you're saying this happens at every other school. It does, but not under the circumstances that Como has been under. She's excelled academically. She also got a full ride to Southern University NROTC program. That is what we are doing at Como High School. We're not just teaching the curriculum, we're changing lives. The teachers at Como High School and the principals, administrators, if we can't fly, we run. If we can't run, we walk. If we can't walk, we crawl. But we are going to move forward for our students at Ove Como High School. I can guarantee you that much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, we have our last public comment. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Barbara Carter. I am an LFT organizer for this parish. I work in 14 parishes, and I didn't expect this tonight. I've been in a lot of school board meetings throughout Louisiana, and I didn't expect what I heard today. I want to commend the young people I'm not an emotional person, Mr. Superintendent, and I've got tears running down my eyes because I'm not emotional. But I felt y'all heart. I felt the staff hearts. I felt the parents' heart. I felt the community hearts. And I want to talk directly to the superintendent just to let him know that I don't believe whoever the school board member, maybe they one of the ones that's not here, that brought this to the table, they didn't take the pulse of the community. And we hear their hearts today. I want each of you all, I've been watching all of you all, especially the superintendent, because he's the leader. You can pull this off the table and say, not enough people are here to make this decision, and heard what the community said. I'm not from this parish, but I work in this parish. Mr. Superintendent, I'm in your schools, and they're going to be talking to me. They're going to be asking me, well, why did they do this? Why did they shut down my school? I have to have an answer for them. So that's why I'm talking to you, Mr. Superintendent. You are the leader. Be on the right side of history. Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you. All right, seeing no other public comment, we're moving to board comments.
Want to start it here?
All right, we'll start with Mr. Roddy Boardroom.
What a night. I want to start by thanking the parents and the students and everyone else for coming here, right? It takes a lot to come here and talk to us, right? Like, if you would have known me in high school, I'm from St. Landry Parish, went to Northwest High, right? I know about, we lost to Opelousas High every year. You wouldn't have caught me speaking at a public meeting, right? Despite how passionately I felt about things. So I do appreciate it to the students here. Like, you did a great job tonight. So I want to say that. There was a lot of talk about fairness. The students who emailed me, y'all heard me, the response you got was about fairness. It isn't fair to you. It isn't, right? I'm not going to act like it is. I'm not going to sit here and convince you this is the best course of action we could take. The school system faces a ton of challenges, right? We talked about charter schools, the changes coming, right? Charter schools have it's an outside force that we can't control to some extent. We can control the response to them, and we can control what we do. You're going to hear tonight from other board members about that. Like, we're eyeing what's going on in Broussard and some of the charter school changes coming there, new charter schools, et cetera. Like, that's going to pose a challenge to Como, regardless of how we cut it, right? And there's nothing the school board can do to stop that charter school from coming, right? Over the last few years, this board has been tasked with some hard decisions. The moving of language immersion and gifted immersion, ACE programming and how that affected schools, because this board inherited a lot of systemic problems that doesn't seem like anybody wanted to address or wanted to patch it. The Performing Arts Academy being a prime example of that. Like, we watched those numbers dwindle, and that wasn't the right decision to make to save Como, right? And I could have told you that. We moved it back to Lafayette High. We're already adding seats there to accommodate more students going on, right? Like, I just feel like we're at a crossroads, right, of what we do as a school system to try and change the tide of what's going on out there outside our control, right? You got educational savings accounts coming, and increases in that. The legislature's changing rules around, like, how, like, are they promoting trade school activities in school, right? Those changes we've had to face over the year were tough. We've heard from students and parents about those programs and how we're ultimately setting them up to fail. Like, those programs are succeeding. Every year I ask Ms. Jennifer to pull the numbers of that decision I made, and I don't make those decisions lightly. Like, I want to make sure what we're doing is a good decision. What decision we have to make tonight isn't a Band-Aid decision, because what we're going to be doing is, again, kicking the can down the road, and there's going to be another group of students in here asking us why we're talking about making changes at Como again. And I don't want to put anybody through this. I wish we didn't have to be here tonight, but this is where we're at. What I don't want to do is make a decision tonight that makes another decision 3 years down the road for another board to make. Like, we have to make a solid decision tonight on what we do. I don't know exactly what the perfect solution is. There's no perfect solution to what we're going to do. And I wish we could, right? I'll address some things that were said tonight. I'll tell you why. I can't speak for the rest of my board members, but I will speak for myself. I'm not closing Como because it's a bad school. It's not, right? What's going on there is fantastic. So there's no, for me, the decision tonight doesn't have to do with whether or not Como is a bad school or not. If we're going off academics, there was a lady who made a comment about academics. Yeah, there are schools with worse academics. So if we were choosing on academics, we would choose another school. If we were choosing sports, I hate to say it, Lafayette High would probably be on the chopping block. But again, I love my Lions, but you know we have challenges there. If it's not the teaching staff, right? Teachers are fantastic. So like, it's not about money either for me. $2 million a year is we can find savings elsewhere. Well, what I got to look for is, you know, we talked about sayings. My dad always had a saying like, you got to plant trees for shade you'll never see. So what's going to happen 10 years down the line, right? And how do we combat what this gentleman said about what happens if a charter school closes? What do we do, right? Like, we have to plan for that. We have to plan for what happens if more charter schools open. We have to plan for how population shifts change over the years, right? The population inside Lafayette City, when they built all these schools, right, 40, 50 years ago, you're looking at 70% inside the city, 30% outside. Now, 45% of the population of the parish is inside the city. Like, population shift, and we have to account for that 10 or 15 years down the road. LHS population, I can't speak for Southside Acadiana High. I don't go there as much as I do Lafayette High. I was speaking with Lane Edelman earlier about can we accommodate students? We can accommodate students there. There's not overcrowding as we say. I have walked those schools. I have seen, like, there was a comment made about a teacher's lounge. There was no teacher's lounge that we're putting kids in. It's a classroom. They wanted to convert it to a teacher's lounge, but they didn't. It's a classroom, and we're using that classroom to put kids in. What else? School performance scores as well. Like, I don't judge Como for dropping a point and becoming a B school. Like, it's not an issue. If we're looking at other schools, we got other schools that have smaller or lower school performance scores that we could look at. Early College Academy, David Thibodeau, Lafayette High, and Southside High, all A schools. Como's right there, and then we got Karen Crow, Northside, and Acadiana High trailing behind. So, like, we're not doing this because of performance or anything else like that. The challenge I have tonight is, how do we tackle a problem that we got to foresee 10 years from now? Because that's the decision we have to make. I can't punt to another board. That seems to be the issue over the years, is we have not tackled systemic issues because it is a hard decision to make. So the hard decision tonight for me, it's not a very easy decision to make. And I've been struggling with it, and people who have emailed me have known that, like, I have come and asked for other solutions here. And after the last time this came up in 2024 when parents approached me, I told them the same thing I'm going to say tonight, that, like, we have to find a solution. Like, we have to come together and figure this out. I knew this was going to come back up, and I've been telling parents who have approached me about Como, like, over the years, that, like, this issue was going to come back. So for people who are surprised, I apologize. I feel like I've been talking about it, but maybe that's my constituents and my people. I don't know how the rest of the board feels about it, but I just want to say how I feel. Como's not a bad school. Anybody who tells you Como's a bad school, like, send them to me, and I'll let them know Como's not a bad school. We just have to figure out what do we do with trades and everything else, right? Like, we have, there's 450 kids there now. There's about 400 kids who are waiting to get in. If we expand the program, there's more kids there. Trying to fit all that population in one location, the trade school population, EJ Sam, and the Como population, like, we have to account for increase in populations for the trade school there too. So we're probably looking at 1,700 kids that could potentially be all those populations together. If we look at the accommodations we have to make for a trade school, that tremendously diminishes the capacity at Como too. So again, like, I've been trying to find solutions that make it all work, and I just keep hitting the same problems of, like, there is no silver bullet to fixing the problems there. And I really don't know. Maybe my other board members know, but we'll see how the vote goes. I'm considering it. I don't know what else we can do while we watch and see charter schools start to pick things apart here. We've never adapted to the threat of charter schools. I find, like, every time we try to bring a school change here, that we can attempt to find solutions to battle charter schools, I feel like the landscape changes again, especially with legislative changes that we have to come through. It's a never-ending battle, and, like, the students don't don't deserve this. And it's adults who put them through it. And someone made a comment about resiliency, and I agree. We say children or students are resilient, but they shouldn't have to be at all. And I hope we make the right decision tonight. That's all I ask for. So thank you.
All right, thanks. Ms. LeBeau, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I want to thank everybody who came here tonight, spoke so openly and amazing. I had to write down my words because I knew I was going to cry. Sorry. And everybody that's reached out, especially our teachers and staff, your emails, your passion, your continued advocacy for our schools, your insight and dedication to our students is deeply valued. And also, I think he stepped out, but IT Young, I just want to congratulate you on finishing your cancer treatment. I also want to say clearly that the work being done at Como High School, like Roddy said, under Principal Erin Atkins and her staff has been outstanding. This proposal is in no way a reflection of their leadership, their faculty, or their students. I know it may feel that way, but it's not. As he said, it's not fair. I also want the public to understand that this discussion did not begin yesterday. These issues have been discussed for years with board members throughout the past term. You know, that's our responsibility. People keep saying all you care about is money. Well, a board member legislatively is what we're tasked with legislatively is to hire and fire the superintendent, create policy, and the budget. That's it. I can't do staffing. I can't, we're not responsible for anything but the budget, making policy like the dress codes and things like that, and then hiring and firing the superintendent. Everybody else is his staff underneath him. So while the timing may feel sudden, there are several factors pushing us to address these challenges now. First, the maintenance costs at Como and the Career Center are significant. They're both old, aging buildings. And now we're facing an estimated $6 to $10 million in needed repairs just to repair the HVAC system so that the Career Center can stay the exact same size it is now. It won't serve any more than 450 kids. It'll just have an AC that works. That's $6 million. At a minimum. At the same time, the demand for workforce training programs has exploded. We currently have hundreds of students on the waiting list who want access to career training opportunities but can't get a seat at the table. Second, we're seeing growth in the southern end of our parish, and that's where the majority of students who attend a career center are and who are on the waiting list are coming from. Expanding workforce training opportunities in that area helps us meet students where they are and respond to that demand. Third, more than 1/3 of the students currently attending Como come from Broussard. With a feasibility study, I've recently learned that the feasibility study for the Broussard charter is complete, and the charter company and the city are pushing to begin construction soon. In fact, they tried to raise it at their last meeting, and it luckily did not go forward, but it could. They meet monthly just like we do. And that will likely impact enrollment patterns in the southern part of our parish. Right now we have 12 public high schools in Lafayette Parish, 12. We have 8, and there's 4 more charter. There's about to be a 13th. That's the numbers that we're looking at, we're facing. We're also facing broader issues, state policies, and the governor's push to expand voucher programs. He's asking for double the funding this year for the LA Gator Scholarship Program. We lost about 1,000 middle school students to charter schools last year, so that's 1,000 less kids going into high school in Lafayette Public Schools, potentially. Legislation encouraging school systems to expand workforce training and opportunities and funding are actually pending before the legislature right now. At the same time, the board has not been able to reach a consensus on rezoning student populations in the southern part of the parish. Some of the board members who are not here tonight have expressed their opinions on this issue, but are not willing to work toward rezoning Como as a potential solution. So while I know that their absence may be felt, I don't think it doesn't help us reach a solution to get more people in the seats. When you look at all these factors together, facility costs, enrollment shifts, charter growth, and workforce demand, it becomes clear that we cannot simply maintain the status quo. I also want to address something that was mentioned publicly. This proposal has nothing to do with the fact that my husband does serve as a volunteer unpaid trustee on the charter school, one of the charter school foundation boards. He's been doing that for 8 years. It's an unpaid volunteer position. He and Nick Pugh both serve. Nick Pugh is the founder of Love Our Schools. It does not matter. Bessie, not LPSS grants charters. he's overseeing we give $60 million in charter school tax dollars every year. They get our $6 million of tax, and they don't have an elected board that oversees it. They have appointed board. It's a public, you can go to any of their meetings and you can say, I don't want this charter school to be built. I want this charter school. I don't want my money to spend on that stadium. I want my money. But nobody goes to their meetings. But that is all your tax dollars. That's how they're funded. So I'm very grateful that he's willing to serve and make sure that they're doing the right thing with those dollars. But I wanted to let you know that has no bearing on my decision whatsoever. In fact, us expanding our workforce training is one of the best ways we can compete. They don't offer that. That's one of the things that LPSS can offer that they can't. If we want to keep our students, that's something that we can do. And so my decision actually, if it was to go towards the proposal, would actually be a benefit to LPSS over them. So just want to let you know there's no conflict. My support of this proposal for the Workforce Innovation Academy, it would allow students to earn industry credentials, gain hand-on skills, and connect directly with businesses that want to hire them. We already have businesses that are asking how they can partner with us to help train the next generation of our workforce. We know 3 or 4 different companies that are expanding. There's new programs coming into PHI. MMR is coming for an expansion in electrical. There's all kind of opportunities that they're coming to us with and saying, I need a skilled workforce. How can you help us partner with you to make that happen? So I do want you to know that this isn't just a proposal that we hope to put these classes in place and not help our students find jobs. This is something that we hope to bring those community partners and relationships in together. This campus also provides an opportunity to think creatively about other district needs. We're keeping the athletic facilities, we're keeping the new buildings, we're creating a centralized sports complex for middle schools. It's something that would benefit students across the parish. But this is not easy. I can say all the good things that would happen, but I mean, y'all are sitting here. I can see the good, and I can see the things that are going to affect everybody. Under this proposal, EJSAM is going to be relocated to the campus, so it will give kids the right to earn their diplomas while they're on this campus and doing the career training. We're also going to, obviously, the proposal is, as we are now, to bus kids continuously into the Career Center to get them credentials. And I would love to see us explore in the future an opportunity for kids to be on campus full time and have every opportunity to have a larger high school than what we were originally envisioning. But obviously, I'd need to work with our board members to make that happen. To the teachers at Como and across this district, please know this decision does not diminish the incredible work you're doing. We will make sure that we fight to get you positions and respect your and have conversations about what your needs are. And finally, I encourage anyone with thoughts or ideas to continue reaching out. This is just the beginning of a conversation, the beginning of this is something that we can continue working on. It's not we have an existing successful, thriving program, but that doesn't have to be what exactly we duplicate. It could be something that is even more. So please reach out and know that we will, no matter what happens, we'll make sure that your transition is as supported as we absolutely can. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Lebeau. Mr. Lejeune?
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. It's kind of hard to say anything that hasn't been said already, but I am going to start with congratulating the students, congratulating the community members, and congratulating the staff and the teachers that showed up tonight. They came here and they fought for their school, and good things deserve to be fought for. And you can tell from your fight tonight that y'all have a good thing going at Como. So congratulations. Dr. Atkins, I know you're watching. You can definitely be proud of your students, your staff, and your teachers tonight. They showed up. They represented you and your administrative staff in a very positive manner. They showed their love for the school And I appreciate everybody that showed up and spoke, because that's what education is about. So guys, congratulations for what you did tonight. Now I'll start with the agenda. There's two parts to the agenda. One is building a new career center on Como High campus, and one is closing Como High and distributing students to the other schools. I had the privilege of being an assistant principal at Como in the 2000s, early 2000s, before I left to go to Acadiana High. We had that kind of passion and pride and love when I was at Como High. And it is great, and it makes me really proud that I can see people like, I call her Miss Bratcher, but her name's now Miss Mouton. She was a student, Miss Benoit, I'm sorry. You see, I just will stick with Bratcher, I know that already. So that now that they are the leaders of the school. Dr. Atkins was a teacher while I was there. So, and now she's in charge. So look, be proud that you have those people leading you, because they came from where you are today. So now getting back to the agenda item. Having a brand new career center is a very important part of education in Lafayette Parish. It's very important. Career and tech ed is a major issue right now in education in the United States. We need a workforce. The process to get to that workforce as a professional educator is hard for me to support. As a professional educator, it's hard for me to agree to vote to close a high-performing, thriving school. I'm not saying that the Career Center is more important than Como, or Como is more important than the Career Center. They are both extremely important, but we have to make a decision on what's the most important thing tonight. Y'all have done an outstanding, incredible job educating, well, the teachers and staff and administration of educating the students over there. You had a school performance score of an A in 2024 and as high a B as you can get without being an A in 2025. You finally have a principal that will, and a leadership team that will provide stability. You have to have stability to build culture. A lot of y'all might not realize it, but since 2015, y'all have had 6 principals at your school. Hard to build culture and hard to have stability with that kind of change. Not your fault at all. So, also, you are the only high school without a dedicated feeder school. So, it's hard. You can't blame yourself for the 643 kids that attend school every day when you don't have a pipeline of students coming into your school every year. But be proud of what you've accomplished by changing the culture and moving the school forward in the last couple of years. We've spoken about closing schools. We've spoken about closing Como twice since I've been on the board. There are other schools in the parish that have less students, that have lower school performance scores. So if we're going to continue the conversation of closing schools, those schools have to be involved in the conversation going forward. So with all that being said, I truly believe Lafayette Parish needs a brand new career center, but not at the expense of a thriving high school that is on the uptick. So guys, congratulations and good luck.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lejeune. Chad, if you don't mind, we're gonna go with you and then finish this way. Thank you.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I raised some teenagers, and you guys can recognize bull BS before anybody I've ever seen. Growing up, you know, we grew up old school and we tell old school stories, but you kids these days can recognize real and recognize BS. You were failed by adults, and I'm not going to blame which adults it was. I'm not going to say where it started. I've only been here, how long we been here, David? 3 years? This has come up twice.
2.5 years, yeah.
This has come up twice. I went through this with insurance for retirees. I got tired of seeing my retirees showing up here, scared to death that they were going to lose their benefits. And I'm tired of seeing you guys go through these struggles. And I'm going to be honest with you, this wouldn't be the last time. It's not. It's unfortunate because of where you're located. I don't know if it's unfortunate because David made a good point. It's the feeder part. I'm a community guy. I'm from Karen Crow. I love people. I love my people. And I love Como High School. Como has a soft spot in my heart for different reasons. And I just don't want you guys to feel like you've let anybody down. I feel like you come up here and you're begging your case of you felt like you're letting people down. No, you've never let anybody down. You guys are kicking people's tails. Last year, this meeting, I remember the day of this meeting, your scores came out, you were an A school that day. But we didn't want to discuss that at the time because it was fresh and it was new, hadn't been confirmed. Now we've dropped to a B, so what? You're still a high-performing school. Athletics, look, I'm gonna tell you, I thought y'all were dead in the water. I thought y'all were dead in the water. Look, y'all done some things. I'm gonna tell you right now, I've kept a few notes, so if you see me writing, and I know a lot of you said, hey, make sure you're paying attention to me, and I promise you, everybody, we pay attention, but we like to take notes of different things. A lot of y'all, I remember from last year, Coach Newsom's got a special spot in my heart. He actually, my daughter was his basketball team manager at David Thibodeau, and she absolutely loved some Coach Newsom. So when I found out he was coming to Como, I became a Como fan automatic again, and I've always rooted for Coach Newsom. He's a great guy. So kudos to y'all. I want to kudos to the kid that's getting accepted to LSUE on the scholarship. That's awesome. Apparently it wasn't easy. You coming up and you started making honor roll. Now you getting a ride to any college for free is good. There's a lot of notes. We've been here so long. I don't want to just keep going, but there's so many of y'all that I remember from last time. I remember you, sis. I know you was here last time. You had your OC shirt on, but you was here. And I know y'all came and y'all are fighters, man. And look, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know what schools, if Como does close, where you're going to end up. But every school, come to Karen Crow, baby. We'll take you. I promise. We got room, and we're going to make room if we don't. Because I love the spirit. Y'all remind me so much of my community, and I love it. Absolutely love it. And I'm upset because y'all were failed by adults, period. And like I said, I'm not going to go and pick names because I don't know. I haven't been on the board that long. I don't want to be on the board today because, look, when y'all told me about running, this was fun, running for campaign. This has not been fun since I've been here. We pissed off retirees, and now we're making students mad and everything else. It has not been fun. But I promise you, anything that's being done that I know of on this board is when I ran for campaign, everybody counts or nobody counts, period. That's the way it's going to go. Everybody counts or nobody counts. And I promise you count. I promise you're important, and I'm impressed across the board for what y'all have done. I don't care if it's 600 or 1,200. Y'all kicked people's butts. Congratulations. And, things are going to happen. Economies are going to change. We do got to make a tough decision, but I'm proud of y'all, just period.
Thank you, Mr. Zeman. All right, Amy.
I have a prepared, very long statement, and I plan on reading the entirety of it. I appreciate each of you all for being here this evening and staying so long at this meeting. And before I start reading what I have here, I just want to make certain, because I'm fully transparent, I don't want to miss the opportunity to make a motion for like a substitute motion. So Mr. Hammonds, please let me know. I don't want to lose that opportunity, but I want to read what I have here. And This is very emotional for me because this is yet again dealing with not just closing Como High, because in 2024, we battled that in 2024. But this is yet again taking and speaking about and removing or proposing to remove another school in District 4. So I'm going to read what I prepared here. To my constituents in District 4, I want to thank you for your support and for your dedication and continued fight for schools in your community and for equitable resources for schools in District 4. Your dedication is unwavering. And for full transparency, all board members receive draft agendas the Friday prior to board meetings. However, we are not allowed to speak about or share this information with the public prior to public release, which is 2 days prior to the public meeting. And I, being a person of character and integrity, I believe in adhering to rules. And so this is something new. Board members, when I first started in 2024, we were not getting board agendas, draft board agendas, the Friday before the board meeting, which was on Wednesdays. We were getting it at the same time the public is getting it. To the Como High School community who is here this evening, or who came and had to leave, or who is listening and watching from wherever you all are, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for letting us hear your voices. I especially want to apologize to all students that took the ACT or have to take a makeup ACT, and also to the school staff, because I know this has caused each and every one of you great stress and anxiety. So I sincerely apologize for that. To everyone that emailed me, texted me, called me, thank you for letting me hear your concerns and your voices. And I apologize to those I was not able to call back or speak to. Please know that you all matter to me. If I could have double the amount of hours in a day, I would have called each of you back. When this board agenda was released to the public on Tuesday at 4:30, that night I stayed up speaking to people who called me till 1 o'clock, after 1 o'clock in the next morning. I'd like to share with you all why I ran for school board. I ran to make a difference and give back to my community. That was my why. And everyone in this room and listening, you should have a why. And I also ran for school board because I observed that financial resources were not being distributed equitably throughout the 9 districts that make up the Lafayette Parish School System District. And I felt that needed to change, that resources needed to be spread equitably across the entire school district of Lafayette Parish. It was clear to a blind person that North Lafayette schools had been disinvested in for decades. As a school board member, part of my responsibility is to recognize when there is a bleed, especially in the district I represent. And to address that bleed is not adding salt to the wound. And I feel like not giving this important agenda item the time and consideration it deserves is telling. The cost savings presented in today's agenda is $2 million, but how many years will it take to see this realization? The question that keeps surfacing and asked of me by many members in my community, District 4, as well as members that have called me from my fellow board members' communities, over the last 2 days, is what will the true cost be to get this new proposed workforce innovation school in place? What will be needed beyond brick and mortar? What additional costs will there be for programming, trade-specific capital assets, etc.? LPSS has a budget of roughly $800 million. How will LPS fund repurposing and renovating Como High, a high-performing high school? And where will the money come from? Will we bound out for this new innovation school? And what about the continued rising enrollment in the 3 other high schools that has been placed on the board agenda to rezone to Southside, Acadiana High, and Lafayette? Growth on the South Side is steadily increasing, bursting out of the seams. Why not discuss and come up with solutions on how to address this matter as we properly plan for the future of LPSS schools? Como High has available student seats to bring families back to. We don't need to reimagine a new career center on the campus of Como High, a BA school, not when there will be available space on the Paul Bro Middle Campus, which is literally in the backyard of the Career Center. I must also say how disheartened I am by the fact that we are having this conversation tonight, and ultimately as a board, in the future, we will have to vote to direct funds to this proposed new school. When Northside High continues to be placed on the back burner, is specifically in the context of high schools being rebuilt or renovated. Northside High has not had a major addition since 1981 and deserves to be rebuilt, or at the very least, a major remodel like Acadiana High. The Career Center, as an option, could be a new structural addition housed on the current site of Northside High School, where there's enough land to build for the Career Center and all students interested in attending. Or quite honestly, the Career Center can be rebuilt on the current site of the Paulboro campus once that school moves to the new Paulboro site on Louisiana Avenue where Falk currently is. Again, to be clear, a new state-of-the-art facility for the Career Center can be built on the current Paulboro site. This would allow for students from all of LPSS's traditional high schools to continue to participate in this valuable workforce program. Please don't misconstrue, misinterpret, or twist anything I have said or about to say this evening. I will eternally be grateful that this board approved a new school to be built, elementary middle school to be built on the north side of Lafayette in District 4, as there had not been a new school built in decades. However, that should be the beginning of rebuilding North Lafayette schools to help increase academics and enrollment. Someone who spoke at the podium mentioned stats for Northside High. That person was mostly correct about those stats. However, those stats are such because of the disinvestment in North Lafayette schools. Disinvestment is not only about buildings, it's equally, if not more importantly, about the teachers, administrators, and support staff that is poured into schools for the ultimate goal, and that goal is student success. As 2 of the schools in District 4, and 1 school is seeing with the ACES program. It's about the resources you're putting into the schools. District 4 has so many gems, but it seems like some of those gems keep getting pulled from the north side of Lafayette, like pulling the gifted and immersion programs from Paulboro, and now this, yet again. Proposing to remove the Career Center from District 4. I nor the community are opposed to expanding workforce training for students. So why not take a year to really plan this with community and stakeholders like Louisiana Workforce Development, SOLAC, LEADA, civic groups? Why not take that time? That said, this is why I feel that more discussion on this matter is needed to include community input, especially since this is such a significant impact to students in the entire Lafayette Parish School District for all board members present or not tonight, and as well as the students at Como High, in particular those rising juniors who will not have a school called Como to go to next year. In closing, education matters for all students in Lafayette Parish School District. That includes the north side of Lafayette. That includes schools that we continue to bring to the board to offline. And yes, someone also mentioned that a couple of years ago, there were other recommendations by the strategic planners. And it was a school from my neck of the woods growing up in Doosan, okay? We didn't take that school offline. So north side of Lafayette, south side of Lafayette, the east, west, all students matters, okay? Students matter, their families, and the faculty and staff. I will end by saying, I will forever be a voice for all students in Lafayette Parish, especially District 4 students, as I represent District 4. I will continue to champion for things that matter, and you all matter. I want you all to remember this, especially the young students in the room. A great leader inspires trust, fosters growth, and drives meaningful change by combining high integrity, emotional intelligence, and a clear vision. They empower teams through effective communication, empathy, and servant leadership. Great leaders constantly learn and improve and encourage others to do their best. They are active leaders and focus on the long-term growth of their people. Students, you all are our people. Servant leaders foster a positive environment, understand the emotion of others, and make people feel valued. I will end with a famous quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Thank you all for your time and listening to me.
Thank you. No applause, please. All right, no. All right. Thank you, Ms. Trahan. All right, Ms. Britt.
You had a substitute motion?
Yeah, do I need to make my substitute motion now, or?
You could have made it a long time ago.
No. If you want to speak and speak.
No, you've already mentioned it.
Oh, I'll let you all speak and then I'll make my substitute motion.
I, just like everybody else, made a good bit of notes, and Ms. Gardner's going to put something up on the board. And I'm going to mention, I was on the board back then. I told people, you're building this zone too big at Southside. I stood up for Como, okay? I was told it was not my district, stay out of it and be quiet. That ring's got an A on it. I don't have to tell you what that stands for. I went back to Acadiana. Mr. Lejeune was the principal, and I stayed out of it. If I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to be 1,400 at one school and 1,300 at another. I think Southside opened with 15 or 16. It switched. I told them, the cut has been made that will kill Como. I told them back then. Okay, did she put it up yet?
Yeah.
Ms. Jennifer, are you?
Where's it at? Nope. I want the okay. Can you read it? Discussion and or action concerning development of a plan to reduce enrollment at Southside High School to its stated capacity. Anybody see the last name on that? That's Lachele, that's me. Okay? Mr. Hidalgo made a motion to defer. It was going to come back. We were going to discuss it. Okay? That term ended. It never came back. I was pushed aside again. Okay? I represent Acadiana. I had teachers. I mentioned the name Doug Dotson earlier. You may remember he was the head football coach at Como back then. I've known Doug the majority of my life. Britt, you got to help us. Britt, you got to help us. Nobody's standing up for us. I tried. Didn't want to work with me. You know, now comes the point, you know, rezone now, okay? Don't move my kids, but move these kids. So you try to rezone to Como, you got this fight all over again. Okay, now kids got to leave Southside, kids got to leave Lafayette High, the whole 9 yards. One lady made some comment about the zone was ludicrous or something or whatever, or that doesn't make sense. If you look at the map, the area to go back to Acadiana was Acadiana. It was taken away from Acadiana. It was rezoned to Lafayette High and Como. They make mention 2 members aren't here. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. We all know when these meetings are. You are elected to be here. You choose to go to a conference, that's you. Don't get on Facebook and make like this was a big surprise that we have a meeting. It's always the second week of the month unless Mardi Gras gets in the way or something else, because we don't usually have a meeting Mardi Gras week. Okay? Had the opportunity to be here. Okay, so I can't answer as to why not, but that was a big issue on Facebook today of how can you make this decision without 2 board members? How can 2 board members go to a convention knowing you got a board meeting when you were elected to be here? I'm going to tell you a story, and the ladies are going to laugh. The men are going to be like, wow, you really said that? Every April, board meeting week, I'm going to say it this way because if she's watching, it's going to make her mad. It falls on my wife's wedding anniversary. Okay, our wedding anniversary. I've missed 1 meeting in 11 years. It's coming up. I'd always make the joke, oh, don't worry about it. You'll have another one next year. She always supported me being here because I was elected to be here. Good, bad, or ugly. You know, some good things were said about us tonight. Some bad things were said about us tonight. That's okay. It's emotion. Ladies and gentlemen, students, if you think it's easy sitting up here having to make these decisions, it's not. It's not. A wise man once told me when I took office, Britt, make the right decision even if it's the wrong decision for the future. Okay? I supported Como. I did my best. I don't think rezoning's an option, because when you try to rezone, and who wouldn't want to have 600 kids on a campus? That's great. That's a wonderful environment. But you can't sustain that. And where do the students come from? You know, you got Broussard Middle, you got Youngsville, and you got Milton Elementary, but still a middle school. All shoved to one school. That was not right, people. That was not right. But I was told I was wrong and to mind my own business. But I didn't. And I think we were going to rezone, I think it says for the 2021 year. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. I got nothing against Como. I fought for you. But we got to think about the future. And a lot of people think these things are a done deal. A lot of people thought it was a done deal last year. It didn't end up that way. These things are not done deals. And these are not easy decisions, and it's not personal. I don't know if I went over all my notes. It's not your performance. Acadiana is not overcrowded. Lafayette High is not overcrowded. We've got plenty of room. The lady, I mentioned it to us, wanted to audit or whatever of our finances. We have a transparent checkbook. We voted on this about 10 years ago. I think we were the first school system or the first government entity. You can go online and see every penny we spend. Every penny. I wish I could reply to every comment on Facebook, because some of it morphs into Jesus Christ. Where does this come from? But I'm term limited. I'm done in 21 months. I encourage those that think we do such a terrible job. Qualifying is the sum of 27. Come sit up here. Come sit up here and make the decisions. And you don't do this. I was told this would be the most thankless job I ever did. It's not, but it is. Because no matter what you do, you're wrong. You know, Como should have started with 1,300 or 1,400 students. Southside should have started with 1,300, 1,400 students. And you go from there. And it didn't. But I'm not the one who represented Southside. And I did what I was told to do. But I fought for you. I did. And I don't know if the Some of the teachers are still there. They contacted me when Coach Dotson was there. I can't remember the tall basketball coach's name. They'd call me on is it Witt or something?
Jeremy Witten.
Yep. They'd call me on a regular basis. I'd go to Como and visit. So whatever happens tonight, it's not your fault. You've done good. You're a good school. Yeah, other schools could be looked at. Is a career center a great thing? Yes. Don't fault anybody for what they have to do. Don't. But that's all I have to say, and I guess if you want to get to the substitute motion, you can.
All right, may I have the privilege to speak, Mr. President?
You can ask for privilege.
Okay, thank you. There's been so much misinformation on Facebook and in this room tonight, and there is no doubt that the Spartan heart is so strong. This is not easy for any member who's sitting up here tonight. But I would like to put some facts out there. The overcrowding at Lafayette High and Acadiana is just not true. Ms. Jennifer Gardner, can you put up the numbers for our high schools, please?
Ms. Mason, would you like the MFP over the historical?
Let's start with the historical.
Yes, ma'am. It is behind you on the screen.
Thank you. So I hope everyone can see this.
Can I make it bigger?
So unfortunately, Como High has fallen to approximately 663 students.
Yes, ma'am. This data is, we collect official data for MFP money every October 1st. And so this is the historical MFP count on October 1st for our high schools. As you can see, Southside opened originally in 2017. As a reminder, Southside opened with freshmen and sophomore only.
Okay. All right, I just want everyone to look at those numbers and see them for themselves. Also, you know, this isn't a new conversation. This has been years in the making. It came to a head last year as well. In trying to figure out the future for Como, the future for a career center that is not, it's not just a school. The Career Center is a program, and our entire school system, all of our high schoolers have the ability to go there. But it's not big enough. So we have 450 kids on the waiting list for the Career Center. In touring the Career Center and touring Como, it's undeniable that these facilities are crumbling and need to be rebuilt. So that is what's driving my decision. It has nothing to do with that our teachers or our children are not worth it. This is an incredible community. You tonight, I mean, I am so proud of all of you in this room and everyone watching at home. I mean, no one can deny that Como is an absolutely wonderful place. But the numbers speak for themselves. All right, Ms. Trahan, you have a substitute motion. Ma'am, there's no comments from the audience. This is our second warning. Any more outbursts, the room will be cleared.
I'd like to make a substitute motion that we defer 3.5 to the next board meeting.
Hearing no second, the motion fails. Madam Secretary, a call for the vote. Can you please call it by a random roll call?
Madam President, excuse me.
I'm sorry. Do you have something to say?
The
motion has failed.
I think I have the ability to make a second substitute motion. Is that correct, Mr. Hampton?
No.
I'd like to make a subsequent substitute motion that the, to separate the question. I think I'm saying that correctly. For 3.5.
Is there a particular part of the motion, Ms.
You have to make
Trahan,
an-
that you would like to have removed from the remainder of the motion?
The part where it says take Como High offline at the end of the 2025-2026 academic school year, as well as the part where it has Ove Como High School will be repurposed and renovated to accommodate the WD and Mayor Baker Smith Career Center and EJ Sam Accelerated School with the anticipation to serve students no later than the 2028-29 academic school year.
Okay, I think the first part of that would be improper because the motion that's before the board is that it approved taking Ove Como High School offline beginning with the 26-27 school year. So that's already the motion that's on the board's plate at this time. Any of the other parts of that motion, however, have not been specifically addressed, and you could make a motion to amend any of the other provisions of that motion that you do not agree with. What you would need to do is you would need to say, I would like to amend this motion to change something that's in there, at which case you would have to have a second to a motion to amend, and then the board would vote on the motion to amend. If the motion to amend passed, then the board would vote on this motion with the changes. If the motion to amend failed, well, then the board would vote on the motion as it has been presented.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, my motion should be to amend the second part of what I stated, which is amend the Ove Como High School facility being repurposed, that section, that particular part is what I'd like to amend.
But the repurposing of the facility is the substance of the main motion. Will be taken offline at the end of the academic year. So a motion to amend, to take off the table what is the subject of the main motion would not be proper in my opinion. For give you an example, the second recommendation here says that the Navy ROTC Magnet Academy program will be relocated to Acadiana High School. If you had found exception to that, you could make a motion to amend to change that part of the overall motion because it's not the substance per se of the original motion that's pending before the board. Similarly, the part about moving the Smith Career Center and EJ Sam onto that campus in time for the 28-29 school year, if you do not agree with that motion, that could be a substitute motion, or not, excuse me, a substitute, a motion to amend to take that out of this total motion. But I don't think it would be proper to say that the issue of taking Como offline would be this, would not be inconsistent with the motion that's pending before the board.
So then, if I'm understanding you correctly, I would like to then motion to amend, striking Ove Como High School facility will be repurposed and renovated to accommodate the WD and Baker Smith Career Center and EJ Sam Accelerated School with anticipation to serve as students no later than the 28-29 academic school year.
Well, the issue again, and I'm probably not doing a very good job of articulating this. The motion before the board is to approve the taking over and taking the school off of line. So, according to the motion, for the purpose of repurposing it, if the vote is to take it off of line, then obviously the issue of repurposing could be addressed separately because maybe instead of putting these facilities and these programs on that campus, you would put something else on the campus. But my issue there is that sentence begins that Como High School facility will be repurposed. That's exactly the same substance as the major motion that's before the board. So I don't think that the issue of repurposing the school is properly the subject of a motion to amend. I think what would be properly the motion to amend would be what you did with it after it was taken offline. If there was some other program that you feel should be in the school rather than the ones that are suggested in this motion, then you could make a substitute motion to put another program or programs in that location, subject to getting a second and subject to your vote, your motion being approved by a majority vote of the board, which tonight would be 4 board members.
What specifically would the motion have to, would the motion have to read if I do not want W.D. Smith Career Center to be relocated to Como High School, but an alternate relocation to Northside High School? So what would that amendment, how would that need to read?
There would be a motion to amend to say what you would like to have, where you want those programs reassigned. That would be a motion to amend, because again, I'm not trying to confuse anybody. The motion that's before the board for purposes of the audience is that the board approve taking Ove Como High School offline beginning with 26-27 to begin renovations to repurpose the campus as outlined. So everything that's in that paragraph is that's the outline as to how the campus is being repurposed. If you did not want the W.D. and Mary Baker Smith Career Center and E.J. Sam Accelerated School to go on that campus, then you could make a motion to amend this to say that you do not, you make a motion that those programs not be reassigned to the Ove Como High School campus, but instead be reassigned somewhere else. That motion would be amendment to the conditions as outlined. It would again require a second and it would require 4 votes.
So my motion would be to amend the current location that is proposed, not have it be at that location, but rather be on Northside High's campus, the programs.
That would be a motion to amend, which would be in order in my opinion.
Do I need to restate that, or is that clear?
I can ask Madam President, but as I appreciate the motion, it would be that to change the conditions outlined above to say that the W.D. and Mary Baker Smith Career Center and E.J. Sam Accelerated School would not be reassigned to the Ove Como High School campus, but would instead be assigned, Ms. Trahan, where was the rest of your motion?
To Northside High School campus.
So to be clear, you want to take Como offline and reassign it, reassign the repurposable.
Oh,
reassign the Career Center to Northside, or are you taking Northside offline? Which one are you doing?
I would never support taking Northside offline.
So you need to restate whatever
I'll
you're
try.
trying to say.
May I try again? Because I think I understand what she's saying. She's saying that forget repurposing of Ove Como. That's not in her motion. The amending motion that she's asking for is that the W.D. and Mary Baker Smith Career Center and E.J. Sam Accelerated School not be placed on the Ove Como High School campus, but instead be placed on the Northside High School campus. That would be an amendment to this motion. Again, it would require a second, and then it would require a majority vote.
Thank you, Mr. Hammonds.
Do we have a second?
I don't understand the motion. Can you restate the motion?
Ms. LeBou, would you like for me to read what I have typed out? Yes. Okay, it's a motion to amend the following: to change the conditions outlined above in regards to W.D. and Mary Baker Smith Career Center and E.J. Sam Accelerated School would not be placed at Como High, but to be placed at Northside High.
First half of the motion remains the same.
So Como still goes offline is what we're asking.
That's correct. This does not change that at all.
Okay. So Como goes offline no matter what.
All right, do we have a second?
If the motion passes, the original motion.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, hearing none, motion fails. Madam Secretary, I call for the vote. Can you do a roll call by random order, please?
Yes.
We're going to do a voice vote.
Yes, Ms. Mason, I will go in order as to how the board members are listed in community. We're going to start with Ms. Delachele,
Yes.
Ms. Mason,
Yes.
Ms. LeBeau, Ms. Trahan,
No.
Mr. Hidalgo is absent. Mr. Bergeron,
Yes.
Mr. Edmond is absent. Mr. Decimo? Mr. Lejeune? 5 for, 2 against.
No further items. Meeting is adjourned.